empowering minds, amplifying voices, and transforming lives. This is the Untold Stories of Hope podcast, brought to you by the Destiny Connect Foundation. Your hosts, 𝗲𝗂𝗋𝗔𝗶𝗄𝗏 and 𝗕𝗂𝗋𝗡.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are joining us from all over the world. I want to say thank you and welcome to another episode of Untold Stories of Hope podcast, brought to you by Destiny Connect Foundation, a place where we are empowering minds, amplifying voices, and transforming life, and bringing those untold stories of yours into reality to inspire, to motivate, and to encourage people globally. And yes, my name is 𝗲𝗂𝗋𝗔𝗶𝗄𝗏, joining you all the way from Nigeria. And I have my brother from South Africa with me this morning, Prophet Mr. 𝗕𝗂𝗏. I yield the mic to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zion. Welcome to Untold Stories of Hope podcast. Yes, as Mr. 𝗲𝗂𝗋𝗔𝗶𝗄𝗏 said, brought to you by Destiny Connect Foundation. And we are really excited to be here today, to give you the best of what we offer you always. And I always say to you, you can follow Destiny Connect Foundation on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or you can also visit our website so that you can also check the podcast. And I'm really excited to be here. All the way from South Africa. It's raining here and everyone is excited and we are expecting a lot of harvest everywhere.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Prophet. Ladies and gentlemen, today is another interesting conversation because we have someone with us. Someone who is all about making an impact. Someone who is all about making a difference. Someone who is about making a positive change in the world. And I want you to sit back, relax, as I make welcome Mr. 𝗕𝗅𝗡𝗋. He's an esteemed humanitarian leader and a mentor. He is the founder and president of the Boys Mentoring Advocacy Network, BMAN. Mr. Ola, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We appreciate you so much. I just want you to say hi to the listeners or the viewers at home.
Thank you for having me, Zion and Puffy. It's an honor to be on your episode. And I believe for listeners all over the world to this series of impactful programs that amplify good voices all over the world, I hope today will give you an insight to your existence particularly, and that is what I'm here to share with the world today. So thank you for having me, and I'm happy to be here.
Hey, that's amazing. We always have people, come into the podcast, and we have so many visitors with Untold Stories of Hope. And we believe that, Mr. Ola, as you are here today, you are going to, encourage us. I realized that you work a lot, as we were discussing as a team, we saw how you work a lot with men and boys. And that's what you are even mentioning earlier, to say there's a lot of conversation that we need to engage in. And I can see that, it takes a lot of passion for somebody of your caliber, to decide, to come and change the lives of other people. I'm sure it's not easy, for you to wake up every day and to see how men and boys are broken, and some of them, they don't have platforms where they can even share their experiences. But what does the duality of purpose mean to you personally, and how has it shaped your perspective on life or human existence?
Okay, thank you. You see, the 𝗕𝗓𝗀, this search began in 2004. Precisely, that would be 20-something years ago. And the reason behind this is to find out the duality of the purpose of human existence. Many a times you will hear people say, you need to find your purpose in life, or what is your purpose in life? And a lot of us, because of this adventure of life, we want to actually find our purpose. So it got to a point, I remember it was in the month of May. So I was beginning this quest. What's actually purpose of the human existence? So I went into this search for almost 20 years, into going through all the religious texts, reading from philosophers, spiritual gurus, historians, you name it. But at the point I was getting closer to understand that the purpose of the human existence is dual. And what society has taught men over the years is just find one. Whereas there is a distinction in this duality of human purpose. And until humanity begin to approach our existence from the duality of this purpose, it may be difficult to experience life to its fullest. And that is why I put together a book called The Ultimate Purpose of Life. In this book, I've, broken it down in such a way that you will understand what purpose is, the duality of purpose, and it is this duality that I'm going to explain in this conversation. One, it is established that without purpose, there is no fruitful adventure in life. Because all adventure that attracts fulfillment, satisfaction, begins with a purpose. A sense of purpose is what we all need to navigate life joyfully, without comparison, without jealousy, without envy, and without condemnation. That's the sense of purpose that we need. So what is this duality? If we have established the need, the essence of the human purpose, what is the duality? The duality simply means there's a difference between the purpose of life and the purpose in life. Now, the purpose of life does not apply to us as a human beings. It also applies to everything we find around us, especially when you go to the natural world, whether tree, plants, and all of that. So, from my discovery, I realized that the purpose of life is to live. L-I-V-E. That is, through my search across all structure, the goal of you going to church, to mosques, to religious centers is you have the expectation they're going to teach you how to live. And we want to find out, how do we live productively? So that's the question. How do we live? That is why we're searching for this. But in this simple way that I put it, if you understand it, you can flip it. One of the greatest words that have ever been used, whether in religion or in secular world, is this: if you flip the word L-I-V-E backward, it will give you a word. What word would you get from there? If you write it from the back, well, so it means if you do not live, you're evil. Now, the question would not be, how do I then live in order for me not to be evil? So if you do not live, it means the other side is where you belong. You must be acting evil or doing evil. But humanity, somehow, we don't know that these 4-letter words is all we need to experience life to the fullest. And across all texts, all religion, these principles are pillars of all of them, but it has not been brought together the way I put it together. That is why this is, for me, the new experience that collectively we must buy into as human beings. Now, I broke these four-letter words into an acronyms that I give each word a meaning. And the first letter in LIVE, live, is love. At this center of human existence, love is what you find there. And I mean love in the true essence of love. Now, love is like the sunlight or the sunshine. It gives everybody that feeling of the energy it radiates to mankind, to plants, to animals, wherever you can find it. It doesn't say, oh, because you have offended me yesterday, you're not going to partake of my sunshine today. It doesn't condemn you because you have done something to me, something bad 2 days ago. You're not going to feel my impact today. And also, wherever you find a family, a community that thrives in unity, you're going to see love as the driver. So what is the problem we have in the world today? We have different forms of disunity, discord. What is lacking is the unity that can bring mankind together and say, uni, we are one in love. Until we arrive at that, we may not be able to sufficiently fulfill the purpose of our existence. Love, if you go to all some of these religious texts, whether it's the Bible, it's the Quran, it's the Torah, go in there. You find out that this is the central pillar of each of these global religions, whether Hindus, whether you name it. So why are we not activating it? So to really understand the purpose of your existence, begin with, how did you express love to the next person, to your neighbors, to humanity, to plants, to animals? Love in everything for everything. Love for everything in everything. So that's why we are here. I cannot gain any expression into your heart, to find a place in your heart without the expression of my love for you. It's not possible. So that's the first letter in LIV. Is well crafted in the book, The Ultimate Purpose of Life. Because there you have different kind of love, familiar love, romantic love, other part of love. You know, you're going to find it there. And it's the essence of this is when we begin to approach our life from the beginning of the dawn in the morning, expressing our love for everything, you find out that almost all the challenges that disunited or that is not making us come together as a people is going to be solved. So love provides humanity that united force. It's a force of unity. It's an energy. Without it, humanity is broken.
Oh.
The idea is to inspire or inspiration. Now, how do I mean? See, inspire. You give life to a dying soul. When you show forth or you show up in a particular community or in among group of people, your presence to make the place lively. It should give life to that environment. Because the closest way I've explained inspiration in that book is inspiration is life. Where there is inspiration, you see people living their potential. We draw inspiration from it. You see people who are dead. So you are here. One of the key purpose of your human existence is to come here and inspire humanity. Your essence. So you ask yourself, am I inspiring others? Because as much as you draw inspiration from the world, you are also to inspire the world. I love the way Les Brown put it, or whoever said it. He said, I aspire to inspire till I expire. You understand? I aspire to inspire till I expire.
Till you expire.
Yes. So one of the key purpose of life, of this human existence, is to aspire to inspire. And to inspire means you carry life to others. You get to a particular environment, and your presence in that environment make the place vivacious. It brings a lighting up everybody there. Your utterances. So what I do is that every day I find a channel for which my life will be aspiring to inspire. If humanity will go in this order, that if I'm to inspire you, I won't hurt you. If I'm to inspire you, I will pull you down, because inspiration uplifts. It's an upliftment of mankind. I don't know if I'm making sense, am I?
Yes, you are, Mr. Ola. Thank you so much. I was going to cut in because you are saying so much that we are following every step along the way. I know there's a whole lot you have to share with us today, but thank you so much for that great share. I love how profoundly you said, our purpose for life and our purpose in life. It's so inspiring to hear that duality, giving people a sense of purpose of why they are here on earth, and how eloquently you spoke about love being the center of everything that we do and to inspire others. Thank you so much, Mr. Ola. This brings me to our next question, because what we do here is to help people share that untold story that help them inspire other people. I know before you get here, you've had experience, there's something that has happened in your life before that triggered you to be on this movement, that triggered you to be on this pathway. So my next question is this: can you share with us an untold stories of life, like your own personal life, where you struggle to balance and understand the duality of your purpose, and what helped you find clarity?
Yeah, I love that question, in the fact that, like, for me, at a point in my life, I was almost losing hope, because one of the elements of inspiration, like I said, which I have not concluded the 4LIV, is inspiration is a vehicle for renewed hope for mankind, or resurgence of hope for a dying soul, or a life that is diminishing. Why I would love to complete the two other letters in LIV and get back to your question later We talk about love, inspiration. And the last two is V is at the center of it. This is value, when you value others. Now, what I mean by value others, it means that the worth of the life of 𝗕𝗏, the worth of the life of Zion, is equal to every life on earth. Every life on earth has carried equal worth, irregardless of the body they wear. My approach to people is that, irregardless of the body that house your life, I place the same respect, the same worth to every life that come my way. I am not placing that worth because of the body you carry, but because of the soul in that body. So whether this person is big as humanity have described it, or this person is low as humanity has described it, one thing is common to us is the value of each soul. So until collectively we agree to place equal value on every soul and every life, humanity has not come to fulfill the purpose of our existence. This is where majority of our problem is, because we don't put equal value on the soul that the body carries. We rather value the body and diminish the soul or the life in you. We may have appreciated because of the environment that cultivate us as a people, or from the opportunity of hereditary that we found ourselves. But for those who are not given, or who are not endowed, who are not opportune, it doesn't mean they are less of human beings. So we must come together as a people to give every soul, every life equal value. And by doing that, we have to value one another. The other flip side of value is that you have come to this world with a value addition to humanity. You do not appear in the world because you wanted to come to this world. In fact, the pre-birth arrangement was such that a value is missing in the world, and you said you want to come here to fix it. And your fixing it is the added value that you have come to this world with. So when you look at value, the first thing it does, it restores order in a society. That's why value is important. Go look for a society that is in disorder. You will find that such society is a valueless society, or they are declining in their values. And go find a sane society, you find out that they uphold order. And where there's order, there's values. So you have love, unifier, you have inspiration, hope, and life. You have value, you have order and sanity in society. And the last E is what we call education. Education is pulling out the potential of every individual in alignment with the self, not necessarily the paper qualification. I mean, you dig out the potential of a fellow human being for him to advance his existence here. So education, when you look at education, you can't see any advancement of mankind without education. At the center of human advancement, you see education, whether formal or informal. At the heart of invention you can talk about is education. So you cannot improve the life of average individual in the absence of education. In fact, no family can advance without education. So we're here to educate the world. We come with, in fact, unknown to many of us, we also come, we didn't come here empty. We come with education. There's some generational stuffs that is coded in our birth. That sometimes you refer to these things as native intelligence. And when you exhibit these things, you feel like life is advancing.
Yeah.
So
that's powerful.
That is the purpose of life, is to live.
Yeah.
Now, coming to answer your question, at a point when it's seemingly occurring to me that, look, everybody around me will be doing something that appears that they are thriving, they had to do something on the fast lane. My quest is to ask myself, how do I live?
Yeah.
The experiences of life were very challenging. But in adventures of life, the first stage of life must be very challenging for you in order for you to know, oh, this is why I need to activate my purpose. So when it got to that point, I think I was just looking for a way to understand this concept of, okay, if I find my purpose, what then is next? So it was that quest. Go and find your purpose and life will blossom for you. I read several books. Sometimes they tell you the pain you experience is kind of a precursor or an indicator or a clue to the purpose of why you are here. I counter different kind of perspective about the human purpose.
Yeah.
But what I do was that to sit back and look at what was natural with me. And I'm going to say that to anybody. The first thing you do, this has to do with purpose in life now. Because I want to make this decision, Mr. Zion, to address or answer your question. The purpose in life is what you are referring to there, not the purpose of life. The purpose in life is to serve. What do I say? The purpose in life is to serve.
Yeah.
Is to serve.
The purpose of life is to live. Can you see the duality now?
Yeah.
The purpose of life, with earlier explored, is to live, while the purpose in life is to serve. Now you know.
Yeah, and Mr. Ola, just to also verify, to the audience who are watching now what you were saying. I mean, that is very powerful. There are a couple of powerful nuggets that you have mentioned. Living a life of purpose, but not only living a life of purpose, but living a life of purpose joyfully. Because you've mentioned that part, and I heard it very clear. Because sometimes a lot of people are dealing with a lot of issues because they are never joyful. Like you said, you grew up in different circumstances, but you took those circumstances as an adventure, to love other people, because that is the purpose of what we do, especially in Destiny Connect Foundation and Untold Stories of Hope podcast. We are passionate about the love for humanity. To love people, to inspire people, to value people, and to also educate people in terms of the power, of humanity, the power of purpose, the power of change and transformation. Because, you keep mentioning, your upbringing, and myself and Mr. Zion and again, we can affirm to that, because I know how I grew up in brokenness. And I know how really, having trauma as a child, having brokenness as a child has really
Yeah.
affected somewhere,
Yeah.
somehow, my understanding of humanity, especially to male figures, because there are so many men and boys out there who grew up like myself, like Mr. Zion, like you, Mr. Ola, sometimes in brokenness. I mean, at 20 years of age, I became an alcoholic, and I was feeding on alcohol because of all this misunderstanding of what humanity is, misunderstanding the concept of humanity, not understanding love, not understanding inspiration, not understanding value, not understanding education, because no one has instilled that in me. And imagine so many men and boys out there who are going through the same, challenge. Can you hear me?
Perfectly well. You
Oh,
see,
yes.
Mr.
So
Mr.
imagine
Puffy.
how, yes, imagine
Yeah.
how many men and boys out there who are struggling with self-esteem, who are struggling with brokenness, who are struggling with, understanding humanity. It leads me, connecting to what you are saying, to the next question that we want to ask you, that how has your understanding of purpose evolved through the people you have impacted, or you yourself, you have been inspired by those people? So can you share a story maybe of someone whose journey has touched you deeply? Because I know that even myself, my story touches me a lot, but there are many stories that inspires me and touch me. I might have grown up in brokenness, in trauma and depression as a child, alcoholism, but I'm a man that I am today because somebody has inspired me. So looking at the people that you have already impacted, there are those who inspire you. So can you tell us maybe a story of someone who really inspired you? Share with us the experience.
Thank you so very much. I don't want to ascribe the inspiration I got to an individual. Yeah. And why I want to hold that view is because, growing up, I came from a polygamous home. My dad had us 17 of us from three mothers. And my father was alcoholic. I grew up to know him as an alcoholic person. There was never an example of a dad that I could recall that bought me a pant in my lifetime, let alone ask you if you were hungry or not. At a tender age, I was more or less shipped out of the house to go live with one of my dad's uncle and all of that, just to find a kind of stable family to inspire me. So, for my journey all through teenage years to this adult life, there have been stigmas, there have been rejections, there have been condemnations, there have been abuse, several. But I got to a point in life that I find a whole lot of inspiration very early in my life with relationship to the Bible. And I wanted to understand, what does the Bible actually stand for? My quest led me to, it was an acronym, meaning basic instruction before leaving earth. That's what each letter of the Bible is. BIBLE means basic instructions before leaving earth. So I find some basic instructions from there that had inspired me. But as life evolves, I begin to read other religious texts from different backgrounds. So notably, I began reading books. So my inspirations have come from a whole lot of authors that had shaped my life. Most importantly, Jack Canfield. You talk about this guy, Tony Robbins. You talk about Bob Proctor. You talk about Wandea. You talk about Louis Hay. I can't name them. You talk about Zig Ziglar. You talk about Dr. Joseph Murphy. There are lots. Norma Vincent Peale. There's a lot of them. If I show you, if I am living with books, sometimes when I pick books to inspire me, and I pick a book like written by an author, in my cultural way, I will prostrate to greet the author before I read the book. And I will imagine the author is seated in front of me to inspire me. I won't see the book, I will be seeing the human author in front of me. So sometimes we dialogue as I will be reading the books. So there's a whole lot of, so I can't really say this is one person that has actually really had a figure of inspiration. I'm sorry to say this. I will be giving credit to an individual, whereas that I have fed on a lot of people who have been here before, who had inspired the world, both from the Christian religion, both from the Islamic religion, both from Hindu, they are every of these people, they are pillars of inspiration to mankind. And that's why today I hold the perception of being if you look at my profile, I say I'm a humanitarian guru. I'm a humanitarian being. I don't discredit anybody, and I are open to whatever religion you embrace. That is acceptable. But when it comes to people who are inspired, let me share a story with you about somebody I inspired maybe in 2008 or 2009. I was then working as a school administrator. He came in to seek for a teaching employment from the place. But I look at him and say, oh, do you have strength in website development and all of that? I never knew he was going to a lot. And he said, okay, if I could even find him the job of a school driver, that he will be pleased with that. But when I engage him and I could immediately identify his strength, I said, look, brother, what you need is not this job. You just need a network of people that is in need of your skills. And I'm going to do that for you right away. And I pick a call. I rang to 2-3 other people. And this same person, when you go to the BMAN website right now, is the one that constructed our website. So recently, I engaged him to create this, to revamp the website for us. And he looked at me. He said he wanted to share a story. And I looked at his face, and tears were rolling down his face. He said, I tell everybody where I go all over the world, it was Mr. Ola. It was Mr. Ola. If you to name the number of boys and men that have inspired, I'll be running out of list of young men. Today, I have boys who have influenced to go through school from year 7, who is currently an undergraduate in Edo State University, where this young man is. I have one of my boys who have funded his education, who is studying plant and biotechnology, University of Benin, where Zion is. I have some who are graduates who work with banks in Nigeria. I have some who are overseas, who are working overseas. I've been on this since 2007, my brother. It's been amazing. It's been a long journey. So I can't really count the number of young men and girls that, in fact, there are times I will go into the banking hall. Unknown to me, I'll just hear somebody say, I am somebody, because that's usually my mantra. If you have been part of our programs, we have a mantra. I am somebody, I am powerful, I am strong, I am born to make a difference. So that is a mantra that is well known, resounding with my mentees all over the world. And you just get to somewhere and somebody say, I am somebody. You go, who is that?
Yeah.
Now what message is greater than that? 𝗕𝗏, say to yourself, I am somebody.
I am somebody.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am strong.
I am strong.
I am born to make a difference.
And I'm bound to make a difference.
How do you feel about these mantras? How do you feel? Tell me how you feel right now.
Excited, I'm telling you. If you've just tuned in now, welcome to Untold Stories of Hope podcast, brought to you by Destiny Connect Foundation. And my name is 𝗕𝗏 𝗔𝗶𝗄, all the way from South Africa, and I'm with the exceptional Mr. Zion Enogeru, all the way from Nigeria. And we have, a global leader, a powerful man, Mr. Ola Akinwe, an esteemed humanitarian leader, and he's a mentor. He's the founder of the Boys Mentoring Advocacy Network. I mean, you can hear from everything that Mr. Ola is saying that he has been someone who's been in a journey of inspiring so many people. I told you that you can follow us, on LinkedIn, Destiny Connect Foundation. You can also follow us on Facebook, or info at destinyconnectfoundation.org is the website. destinyconnectfoundation.org is the website. So we are still here. Mr. Z?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. 𝗕𝗏. Mr. Ola, on behalf of every one of us in Destiny Connect Foundation and the young people whose life you have inspired, we want to say a very big thank you. Because it takes a whole lot to do that, to have a vision, to inspire people, to change their life. And this brings me to our last question for today, because it's been an inspiring session so far. We've learned a lot from you. You were so practical, using your life as a case study. You weren't talking because you read it in a book. You were talking because you've experienced it. You lived the life. So I want to say a very big thank you. And our last question is this: what advice would you give to someone who is feeling lost right now, who are unsure of how to align their purpose with their vision and their current reality? So what advice would you give to such a person?
Thank you, Zion. See, the thing about, I will put it like self-influence. Self-influence. Influence yourself. Do away with other people who's trying to influence you at this point. And how do I mean? What I mean by self-influence, take ownership of what you are thinking, what you're feeling, and your actions. That's where it begins from. Because you are lost in the first place because you are not taking ownership of your thoughts. You are lost because you are not taking ownership of your emotions. You are lost because you are not taking ownership of your actions. If you could find a balance of taking ownership of what you are thinking right now, it brings you to your present moment. Thereby, you are not over-analyzing the situation that you are in. Then when it comes to your emotions, that's where I call energy emotions, your feelings. Now, in my mentoring class, I teach my boys the TFAR principles. And the TFAR principles is thought, feeling, action, results. If your life is not getting the result you want, check your thoughts. If your thoughts are right, check your feelings. Because success is not in the thought, in the thinking place or the thought place, it's in the feeling place. You have to feel it to experience it. And it is that feeling that takes you into the action. The things to do, the things you do. And it is the things you do that gives you the results you get right now. So if the result you get right now is a result that you've lost yourself, that means you need to regain self-influence. So, and there's nobody that I can't sit with you, 𝗕𝗏, to know what you're thinking right now. I don't have the wizardry, or you call it wizard, to be able to know what you are feeling right now. I may have the physical understanding to see what you're doing, But you need to realize if right now you've lost it, there is hope of you regaining whatever it is you may consider that you've lost. And what is that? Bring yourself back to your own influence. Sometimes when you are drunk, somebody tells you you're under alcohol influence, or you're under the influence of this. Be under the influence of you. You are the guru that you are waiting for. So when you begin to influence, you are conscious that this thought that is taking place in me right now, I'm conscious of what it is. This feeling that is taking place right now, I'm conscious of, I'm aware where the feeling is taking me. Then this action that I'm taking right now is going to give me a result. What result will it give you? Would you like the result? So if the result is not good, look at these three elements: your thought, your feelings, your actions, and you can find out where you need to actually work on. So that's the way I will answer this question, Mr. Zion.
That's powerful. I'm highly inspired, Mr. Ola, and we are rounding up now, this podcast interview, because there's a lot that I feel we are still going to invite you again, into this platform, so that you can come and share more knowledge and wisdom to the global community of Destiny Connect Foundation and Untold Stories of Hope. You spoke also about your book, The Ultimate Purpose of Life. I believe that we are going to also order copies, so that we can read, because you mentioned many powerful nuggets that really has triggered a lot of thinking, even in my mind, alignment, sharpen my focus in terms of certain things that needs to happen from now moving forward. There are many boys and men and women out there who are watching this podcast live as it is now, and I know that they have found answers and clarity to many questions that they had, about living the life of purpose joyfully, loving, inspiring, and valuing, as well as educating people in terms of the power of humanity, the power of the love for humanity. So from me personally, I just want to say thank you. And also on behalf of Untold Stories of Hope podcast and Destiny Connect Foundation, we want to say thank you for taking your time, to come and speak to our people. You have inspired me. I know you have inspired Mr. Zion as well. I can see the way he's, smiling, that he has really swallowed enough to keep him going. And what you have said today has really unlocked a new dimension, in my expectation towards success, in my viewing of life, in my viewing of my purpose and my calling and my gift. And I just want to say well done and all the best, Mr. Ola. So if you've checked out, this is Untold Stories of Hope podcast brought to you by Destiny Connect Foundation. We are really excited and happy to have been with you today, Mr. Ola Akinwe. You can also give us where people can follow you, either on social media or your website or any form of communication that they can follow you at. But for me, I'm inspired and I'm really grateful. And I'm also, going to implement everything that you have said.
Thank you so very much, Mr. 𝗕𝗄𝗄. You see, for me, I live a very simple life. That's who I am. You can reach me on Ola Akinwe on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I'm not that much active on Twitter or X now, but I want to be very, very sincere. Were it not for the kind of work I do, I probably won't be on social media. I'm not that kind of a media person. But I welcome everyone who want to reach out to me, especially for men and boys who are having issues with your boy, you're having issue with your manifestation of being a man, or even mothers raising sons, father having issues. You can also visit our website, www.bmanadvocacy.com. 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗋𝗔. You can join our blog post. You will be enriched with visiting the website. And we have, like I said, we'll talk about what we can offer men and boys across the world, especially in South Africa. Puffy, I have a son, a mentee in South Africa. His name is 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗋𝗄𝗋 𝗔𝗍𝗃. He's in University of South Africa, those are my products in your country that I know is going to be one of the prominent leaders. Yeah.
He's in with the University of South Africa.
Yeah. I could share his contact with you. He's been in my mentoring program.
As I'm speaking to you now, just through my view, I'm just opposite University of South Africa. I can see it from
there. Yeah, so you can go see my mentee there, 𝗕𝗓𝗡𝗋𝗋. That's South African name, you know that. So, and like I said, Zion, I have my mentees in UNIBEN. It's in plant biology and biotechnology. Just go there, ask for Divine Obiora. You can see him. These are people that will tell you who Mr. La is. So you can visit our website, like I said, www.bmanadvocacy.org. We also have in social media handle BMAN Advocacy. And to conclude with the audience, like I said, the ultimate purpose of life is to live. And the purpose in life is to serve. We are all called to serve. So when you are a doctor, that's your area of service. When you are a cleaner, that's your area of service. Be dignified with providing the service that you have assigned, you've been assigned to do while you are here. We are not called into serve in the same areas of life. That is why even the traditional African settings, you find that there's what we call the family occupations. Every family have their own area of service to the community. And everyone bring their service to uplift the community. So you are here to serve. But while you are serving, live as well. In those days in the village, Puffy and Zion, when you want to see a tree that lives, people go and sit under the tree. And at the same time, that tree also provides fruits that they can feed on. So the tree lives by what? Providing shade and also providing fruits. So that's a dual service of that tree. And so many of us, we can serve in multiple areas of life, like the tree. But before the tree can provide shade, can provide fruits, it must first live. And for the tree to live, he has to align with everything. The soil, that is the love. The nutrient, that is the inspiration. The value, that is the everything that brings the air, and the education is blossoming. So this thing is even applied to the natural world, let alone to us as a human being. Thank you for having me, and I enjoy both of you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ola. Thank you so much, Mr. Puffy. And everyone who is listening to us right now, we want to say a very big thank you for joining us. And do not forget what we do here. It's the Untold Stories of Hope podcast brought to you by Destiny Connect Foundation. It's a place where we are empowering minds. It's a place where we are amplifying voices. It's a place where we are transforming life. Each and every one of us will have greatness inside of us, and the ability for us to come out, share our story to inspire other people, to encourage other people. It's key for us to harness that greatness. Now, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. We want you to know that you are amazing, you are loved, and you are enough. Until the next episode, keep being amazing, keep being a positive person, and let's make a global impact together. All right, everyone. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Untold Stories of Hope podcast. We hope you enjoyed and you were inspired by today's conversation. Remember, you can get more access to resources plus join a thriving global community of changemakers by visiting our website at 𝗕𝗎𝐶𝐼nfoundation.org. Please subscribe to our channel and spread the word. Don't forget to turn the notification on. Until next time, keep inspiring your world.